Week 5. Some players rise, some players fall. For Sunday, the running back rankings, Week 5, the 2024 NFL season. Welcome to E&M Fantasy Football, where I combine industry-leading data, Vegas sportsbooks, and expert analysis to provide you with optimal weekly rankings for the utmost accuracy when setting your weekly lineups in your fantasy football league. I'm writing this on Tuesday night for Wednesday's video. Expect more videos every week for the other unit groupings like wide receiver, quarterback, and tight end. Click the playlist in the top right so you don't miss out. We start off the top 40 running backs for Week 5, full PPR, with the premier pass-catching monsters / fantasy leaders set up to crush with easy matchups. Keep in mind, a lot of all-stars are on bye or injured, so the list looks a little different this week. We're going to kick it off with Derrick Henry, Jordan Mason, and Aaron Jones. These are your top 3 running backs for Week 5. They face bottom run defenses while leading RBs in 2024 so far. Henry gets Cincy, 25th in the league, allows 145 yards per game. Jordan Mason gets Arizona, 25th in the league, allowing 146 yards per game. And Aaron Jones gets the Jets, who are 20th, allowing 128 yards per game. Lock them in. A tier begins with the rest of the elite running backs. At 4, with Alvin Kamara. Kamara will have a tough game with the Chiefs in spite of their struggling offense, but the name of the game is going to be stop Alvin Kamara. However, he's still number 4 for a reason. 536 total yards, 134 per game. He's good for 100. Don't be scared. Lock him in. Josh Jacobs at 5. He gets the worst run D in the league, and their scoring total is enormous at 48. They are favorites away from home. Josh Jacobs is going to crush this week. Enough said. Brian Robinson Jr. He gets the absolutely deplorable Browns this week. They're 19th against the run. B-Rob has averaged 94 yards per game, and the Browns allow 123. Great matchup. KW3. Kenneth Walker III against the league average Giants run D. He returns from injury and looked incredible. If you don't think he's good for 118 yards that the Giants allow every game, you must have missed Monday night. Lock him in. And Chuba Hubbard at 8. 95 yards per contest. Chicago's 18th against the run, but 8th against the pass. Panthers' only hope is to pound the rock in this game. Don't be scared. Like last week, they aren't going to win, but Chuba is going to eat. James Cook at 9. Cook will look to bounce back against the Texans. They're 13th against the run, allowing 113 yards per game, while Cook has averaged 83 yards per game. It's a high total at 47, though, and with a 1-point spread, it should be a nail-biter. They're going to need him. Kyren Williams at 10. Speaking of teams needing their star players, Green Bay is 11th best against the run, but we've seen for multiple weeks that Kyren is the go-to weapon regardless of game script. It's a huge total at 48. Don't be scared. Bijan Robinson at 11. Only 89 yards per game so far this season. Bijan gets the Buccaneers, who are 22nd against the run. He has a hamstring injury, so his status is unclear. He can get it done here, though, regardless, but keep an eye out for the injury report on Saturday for clarity. At 12, we start the next tier with the rest of the RB1s, but with some caveats. James Conner, 86 yards per game. Conner gets the Niners. This matchup sucks big time, but the point total is huge. Cardinals are 7-point underdogs, but he's still the foundation of the offense. He might take a little bit of a step back at the 12th spot this week, but you can still count on him. And at 13, ErvinandM.com. ErvinandM.com is my company my best friend and I started in 2020. We literally make everything ourselves by hand. We have earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets, tie clips, apparel, and more. Over a dozen curated gemstones and 100 handcrafted products. If you need a gift or something special for yourself, use the promo code in the description, find something you love, and buy it today. Now back to the video. And at 13, Brees Hall, 77 yards per game. He only got 10 carries last week. I don't trust Robert Xerxes Saleh. Brees can clearly get it done, but like Connor, he takes a step back facing the number 2 run defense in Minnesota. Not great. Not great at all. Najee Harris. He's been pretty underwhelming this season, but he gets the Cowboys' run D, currently the 27th worst. They allow 146 yards per game. He has an easy path cut out for him at 14 here in week 5. DeAndre Swift at 15. I just said last week you wouldn't see him again, but he's facing the 29th ranked Panthers, allowing 149 yards. And Swift just popped off with the best game he's ever had. He can probably get his 100 yards here. I hate to say it. It's all about matchups, people. Travis Etienne at 16. Recognize the theme here. Even a mid-back can blast off when facing an atrocious run defense. Etienne has only averaged 65 yards per game. That being said, the Jags are desperate in real life. They're favorites with a high total, and the Colts are 31st worst in the league, allowing 165 yards per contest to backs. Oh boy. Jerome Ford, 17. 77 yards per game, not bad. He's got the 23rd ranked Commanders when facing the run. Point total is okay at 44. I don't think he's going for 136 yards that Washington allows, but he's Cleveland's best chance to stay competitive in the game. He should do okay. Ramondre Stevenson at 18. 75 yards per game facing the league average Dolphins. They allow 120 yards per game to backs. He should get his 75, but don't expect much more. The total is the worst of the week. Go figure. Patriots, Dolphins. Only 35 points in this absolute stinker. Yuck. Devin Singletary at 19. 73 yards per game for Devin. He faces the Hawks coming off the short week. They are big-time underdogs at -6, and they're in Seattle. Without Devin, they stand no chance, however. But at 19, the struggle is beginning. We're about halfway. We start the C tier with more volatile backs who either have been struggling or have bad matchups. Joe Mixon at 20. He's day-to-day with an ankle injury that's been holding him out. He's a top 12 guy facing the 30th worst run defense with Buffalo. The worry is he's on a snap count or he's limited in some way, not 100%. I'm very skeptical, and you should also be very skeptical. Chase Brown at 21. This is the lowest rank for one of the better backs so far this season. This guy's averaged 100 yards per game in spite of splitting the backfield with Zach Moss. It's a 51-point total game. Highest total of the week. The problem is, though, it's against Baltimore, the number 1 run defense. Guess how many yards they allow? Guess how many? 57. They allow 57 yards on average per game. Big yikes. Very scary. We'll go back-to-back with Bucky Ervin and Rachaad White at 22 and 23. Bucky's averaged 66 yards per game. White's averaged 62 yards per game. They have a good matchup against Atlanta, the 25th worst run D. We see the flipping beginning with these two, but it's still a split backfield, and it's a divisional matchup away from home. Not great. Javonte Williams at 24. We're really getting into the weeds here, but Williams is coming off a decent game, and he gets the Raiders, who allow 138 yards per game. He can do it. And with buys, you might need to slot him in. We're officially in the bad offenses / handcuff territory. Justice Hill at 25. 60 yards per game for the RB2 in Baltimore. Henry and him have an excellent matchup facing the Bengals, who allow 154 yards per game. They are favorites with an immense scoring total at 51. He could outperform anyone in this tier, but he's at 25 behind King Henry. From here, it's a cliff. There are no more guarantees. Prepare yourself for some bleak Week 5 matchups and outlooks. This is the last viable anything. Kareem Hunt at 26. It should be his backfield for the most part. He managed 85 yards in his first game back. It's not bad at all. He didn't look very explosive, but I expect him to look better as the season progresses. However, they face the Saints, who are the 7th best against the run. This is going to be tough sledding. Chiefs are in a bad way after last week. The point total is low. He's your 26th best back this week. Zach Charbonnet at 27. 67 yards per game for the RB2 in Seattle. He's done well. Seattle has KW3 back, and they ought to pound the rock with their tandem. At nearly 7-point favorites, they should be able to comfortably get ahead and run the ball in the second half. Should be garbage time for Zach. Oh boy. Devon Achane, how the mighty have fallen. Oh, the Dolphins have zero offense. When they face the Patriots, who are literally known for exploiting inexperienced quarterbacks, humiliating teams, and taking away their opponent's best players. He's an outstanding talent, but his team is so exceptionally bad right now. Zach Moss at 29. He's played okay with 70 yards per game, but he's the second back behind the much more explosive Chase Brown, who's far more productive. Once again, they face Baltimore, number 1. Since his only path to success in this game is to throw the ball to Chase or Higgins. Antonio Gibson, 30. This game's projected to be the lowest scoring game of the week. Gibson has flashes of talent, but he's the second back on a terrible team versus a terrible team. Not much to say. Tyler Algier at 31. The only thing going for Tyler is last week's game, and in spite of Arthur Smith departing, they still give him the ball. So Tampa allows 135 yards to backs, but Bijan's going to get at least half of that. So Rico Dowdle at 32. Dallas's leading rusher has averaged 52 yards per game. That's where we're at here. Pittsburgh's run D is 3rd in the league. He has no chance here. Dallas has abandoned the run, just like they abandoned Tony Pollard. From here, it is RIP, straight up. There are no guarantees. If you're having a slot in these guys, let me know why in the comments. We'll go rapid fire. Ty Chandler, Tank Bigsby, Roshan Johnson, Alexander Madison, Braylon Allen, Zamir White, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Samaje Perine. Yikes. That is your top 40 running backs for week 5. I sincerely hope this helps everyone watching. Comment below what you think of this week's rankings. Are you falling apart? Are you 0-4? Let me know down in the comments. I'm here for you. Thank you for your time, and if you want to support the channel so I can keep making videos like these, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can see all the videos each week before submitting your lineups. It's free, so it's a good value. If you want to support me, support you, check out my store, www.ervinandm.com. I have 2 passions, fantasy football and small business. We're a 2-man show at E&M. We take pride in the quality and craftsmanship of our products. There's no better way to support me than by buying a gift or something special for yourself. Everything is handcrafted from limited stock here in North Carolina by us, by me and my partner, me and him. We do it all. We do everything ourselves. We ship anywhere in the U.S. Don't forget to use the promo code. Thanks again if you're still with me. That's the video. See you in the comments in the next video.